Alrighty, hello. I hope this is working. Good morning, everyone. I hope this is working. This is a new setup here. I'm just on my laptop. Jared isn't feeling too good, so I'm not heading over there. Um, if you guys can't hear him, I'm gonna type this in, please. The video and audio working. Alright, so let's just jump into this. We got top 3 plays, made a whole video lesson on it yesterday, and BTTX today ended up doing so far what I want. And now, as I always talk about, if this thing gaps up too much, it's already done the move. Shorts are squeezed. We already got some solid volume here pre-market. I don't know where else the fuel of this pattern is coming from, because the thinking is you get the whole run up, shorts come in on the backside, you want them to start covering their position and locking in gains when momentum starts to hold and shift, and that's exactly what you get here. And after this whole move and shorts covering into that, I don't know how much further it could go or where the fuel is coming from. So to me, this play now is dead. I could be wrong. It could hold, come back. Obviously, anything could happen in this market. But sticking to the patterns and rules of mine, BTTX, probably a no play, unfortunately. Just did the whole move, 30% or so plus pre-market. And yeah, a little disappointing there. Next up for the pre-market or the multi-day bounce is we got NKTX. A little bit of a different play here, but still, you got this whole run up, failure to keep going, shorts take over, and after at least one red day, we're going to start looking for that multi-day bounce. So NKTX, another one from the watch list just to look out for. And we got SNOA here. This one, was looking at this on a live late day on Friday. Just didn't have any volume to really push past this heavy resistance in the low fours area, where we got a solid double top here. And I'm not a huge fan of red candle breakouts already, especially when there's a lot of volume like this. You're gonna need a lot of buying for this to filter through and get the amount of volume and in it and shorts trapped in it to hold the low fours and then squeeze higher. So SNOA, although still a potential play, I need to see way more from it volume wise and trend wise. So going into the morning, NKTX, and I probably still will look at BTTX to see what it does, but I'll be very, very, very hesitant to trade it. NKTX looking good. Here pre-market, we got this spiker here. 1 second. Perfect. Looks like we're working. So, nasty history. Markets, we'll see what that ends up doing. We got a breakout over 65. High day so far, pre-market 95, we'll call it. Right below this one resistance. So, once again, breakout over a red candle. A lot of volume, but doing a lot more today. So now it really kind of comes down to trend. If it could come back to the low ones and confirm this area as an area of support, we'll definitely be rotating the float today. It's a low market cap. Shorts are definitely coming in because if we look at the history, it's garbage. And usually that keeps me away from plays. And at times, that could actually be a setup for a potential short squeeze because, you have so many people, short sellers, that see this play. You got buyers sticking away from it, typically, and shorts coming in anytime there's a pop to sell into it. So now that we're getting a nice pop here pre-market, solid double top around 95, I'm assuming some sellers are coming in and shorting this, expecting this to fail. If at any point today, for any reason, this thing fails to really break down and comes back to break to new highs and key levels and reclaiming key levels, that's going to invite more buyers in when they notice that, oh shit, this thing's actually holding up. It might actually make a move here. And then shorts are going to see that like, wow, this thing's not doing what we expected. Let me get out and cover my position, and either for a scratch, small win, a lot, small lot, whatever it is, we got to get out. So shorts get out, buyers come in, and from there it's just following trend and volume. But for now, this is a big patience play, just letting it develop because of the history. And yeah, so that's LOGC. What else do we got? ACON was one that I had on watch, but it's got to move to the mid twos here to really give a solid play in the breakout level. So this is really just a waiting game to see if this thing comes back to the mid twos for a potential breakout play. If volume comes back in, this could really offer a nice move. But the key really will be holding the mid twos and turning that into a support area. And on the daily chart, getting a higher low here around 2 for it to lead to a move back to the mid twos. So, right now just being patient, letting the play come to me. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But just keep an eye on it for if volume comes back and price comes back to the mid twos. Let's see the scanners real quick. Soap. Okay, this just happened. Okay. 14 million float. So low float, low market cap, doing decent volume. News reports, Q1 results. Okay, so far this is acting as an earnings winner. We are holding in the mid twos. We got resistance and support areas. So we got a little bit here around this bump from the end of April around the 240s. Some resistance here around the 280s, 90s, where it's kind of getting stopped out here in the high twos pre-market. Let's see here. Recently, plays that have been gapping up really have not been performing at all. Just great gap up shorts. Keep it on watch. This thing could definitely be a potential open price play, VWAP play. If you get the dip, wait 10-15 minutes, shorts fail to take this lower. It keeps holding the mid twos. We're on the daily chart. We got a little bit of support around that area. So if it keeps holding the mid twos, fails to break down, comes back and reclaims open price and VWAP, maybe pre-market highs, this could definitely be a potential setup to test 3, maybe higher. But definitely be looking for that quick snipe into the low 3s if I'm getting it in the mid to high 2s. But right now it's getting stuffed for sure in the 270s, 260s. Hard time here. But still overall making an uptrend. So, like I said, just be patient. Not going to force anything. Just let the play come to you. If it doesn't set up for what we just said, fail in the breakdown, trap shorts in here, and then come back later for a squeeze, it's all good. Just ignore. Markets are a bit wild right now, so just be patient and let the play come to you. It's all you could really do. No need to force anything. It's how I've been profitable. If you check out our YouTube, the latest video goes over the lessons of the week last week, and I haven't done much different in the past couple months. But you just got to stick to that. Let the small gains add up, taking the quick 10-15%, cutting your losses quickly, and that's the recipe, pretty much. Here we are with 30 seconds left. Any questions? Anybody want to go over anything? Oh, yes, the chart is not clear. Oh, okay. Okay, it is a bit different. Sorry. Hello, I'm just seeing this now. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna try to fix the chart up. I know I'm not on on the typical, what do you call it? Arrangement setup at Jared's house. So later on, midday, will definitely be there. I apologize for this not being clear right now. I thought it was working. Shoot. Okay. Well, that's something I'm gonna have to fix up. But if the audio was helpful, and if you guys are just looking at the charts as I'm talking about it and seeing what I'm talking about, I hope that works. But I'm very sorry that this morning, the stream is not looking good. Um, all right. So, yeah, my apologies about that, guys. Just bear with me just for this morning. Um, just temporary until we get back. Jared's not feeling too good this morning, but later on for Power Hour, most definitely will be on the better setup. Now that I see I really need to fix this one. But let's just, try to work with it. My apologies. So, try to be patient now. First minute of the day, just waiting for plays to develop. BTTX. We'll see what this one does, but most likely just gonna sit back and watch this one. What else we got? NKTX. Let's not forget this about a potential multi-day bounce. If that could set up, consolidate for a few minutes, come back for a 15-3 break. We'll see how it sets up. Looks like it wants to break higher already, so we'll see whatever the high is. Just be patient, let it go sideways for a little bit, for a few minutes, and then buy that high daybreak. Now we're in the mid 15s. Okay. Oh, look at this thing go here. Damn, that did the move I wanted too early. So we'll see what this thing could do. Maybe it's not setting up the ideal way, but if this thing completely fails to break down and ends up confirming the 270s as support, holding that area pre-market highs, right below we have the 260 open, it could definitely lead to a short squeeze. Just need to see some shorts getting trapped, a failure to break down, some consolidation. So yeah, SOPA, just another waiting game. Some weak volume going on with this one. That's not too nice to see. I usually prefer when they have a little bit of volume. It's a bit easier to read and play. But if this thing could just go sideways, fail to break down, at some point come back for that 1539 break, it could be a nice potential play. LOGC, just another one. Just gotta wait, see how it reacts to one. It's got good volume today, but it still does have some resistance around one. So if this thing could fail to break down, it could be a possible buy closer to the 84-cent area, VWAP area here, to retest the 95-cent to $1 area of pre-market highs. And on the daily level, we saw that $1 high. So just gonna be patient. It might do it without us. But just looking for the failure to break down at key levels with shorts trapped to retest another key area where shorts and sellers might come in and sell, where it might have some hard time continuing. So it's just buying at a key level when it's support, selling into a key level when that's still resistance into the spike. Sting CYN. That bounced recently. I think that's a no play for me, even though Sting is holding up nicely. I don't necessarily have a pattern for this thing. If I'm going to be trading the momentum, I would probably be waiting for a 480 break to test the mid fives, 6-ish area for a breakout. But at the moment, I just have no plays for this. It's just whatever it does, whatever. Just let it be. Some price action is just meaningless. And, there's plenty of stocks in the market. There's a bunch of stuff moving on a daily. You're not going to trade all of it. Not much of it is meaningful. Oh, here's this thing coming back, wanting to continue the bounce play. So that would have been the buy right there in 240. You got the high, some few minutes of consolidation. Fails to head lower, still uptrending. The only thing keeping me away from this is I just don't know how much further this thing could go if it already did what I expected. On average, this thing spikes 25 to 30%. Did that pre-market, had strong volume pre-market. It did it all. At this point, I feel like I'm just being emotional. But, I've seen them continue to work out before. It's not a consistent thing, which is why I'm deciding to kind of stay on the sidelines for this one and just watch it. But yeah, that's really BTTX. Just mostly an ignore. Just watch and learn from it. LOGC failing. A lot of selling. Yeah, this thing's weak. Cracked right below open price to new lows. Probably an ignore. Might be something that comes back later, but for now, it's just looking like he wants to downtrend. A lot of selling coming through. Would have to wait a little bit more from this to see if I want to play it. I do see a little bit of a volume exhaustion and a fade in volume. And when was it? Friday when I traded that on, what ticker was it? SIDU, I believe is what it was. Didn't recognize quick enough the low volume near a resistance level after volume got exhausted and ended up failing on me. So we're going to be a lot more patient this morning and see how this play develops. Here's BTTX. Want to go to new highs now. Some serious volume coming in. So I guess there was enough shorts in this to make a possible another move here. We'd only be up 10 cents, just about 5%. If we were in at 240, but if you were in 240 and decided to take it, that's a good entry. It's still holding up. Pretty tight risk reward if it were to work out. Because now, if I were to be in, I'd probably be aiming for the high twos, 275, 280. The high twos to really get stuffed by the 3 area. But yeah, so just a waiting game, see what happens. Obviously, no entry for me here. And now I'd be chasing, so not going to do that. We'll see how it reacts to pre-market highs. Besides that, yeah, the multi-day bounce. This is all we really look for. I go over it plenty of times. I have, plenty of videos already out of the 300 or so on YouTube. going over this pattern and getting into it into detail. I'll go over it one more time. It's like a bouncing ball. It's really all it is. And the first bounce is usually the best. So later on, this thing might have another bounce after another fade, but I'm not interested in that bounce. I'm interested in this first bounce where it will be the strongest. And you get the whole run up, 150% or more spike, ideally. Then you get the pullback, shorts are in control, a lot of selling comes in. And then when momentum shifts, the way us longs look at it, when the momentum starts to shift, we want to sell into it. If a short seller sees momentum shifting against them, they're going to want to start covering and locking in gains. And that's the whole point of this pattern. Once there's a little bit of momentum shift, the locking of profits by shorts will lead to this whole move. And right now it looks like I'm underestimating this play. But I am going to stick to my rules, and that's going to keep me safe. I won't regret this later on, because more times than not, this will end up not working out if it does make the move I want early. But if that's something that changes within the pattern, just going to be something to recognize and adapt to. Itching higher, almost reaching goals are in this. Even if I wasn't, you got your 10% right there. Getting in at 240. Seeing volume get exhausted here. NKTX definitely has put its consolidation in. If this keeps making a higher low, I would definitely be interested in a mid 15 breakout. And as we see, SOPA ended up getting stuffed here in the high twos. Not much. Volume got exhausted. Volume faded. That's why I was cautious here before wanting to get in. And, now we're having the pullback. We'll see if we get to new lows or if we get a fake out and it comes back. We'll see what happens. LOGC trying to hold, but looking like weak volume, trying to give this a little bounce. If this comes back and starts reclaiming levels, might be interested, but for now, trend is downwards and volume isn't there. So I don't see this thing as possibly making a quick move anytime soon. See what else is on the watch list. MTE, VIVK. Nope. No volume. No volume. Yeah, not much going on this morning. The top 3 plays I chose weren't too bad. What was the other one? SNOA. Oh yeah, this one we're just waiting. See if there's anything new on the scanner. See, now I'm thinking BTTX might actually be able to make a move. It's the only thing holding up. Out of everything on my scanners here, it's the only thing holding up decently. And actually up from its open and didn't get stuffed at the open. Interesting. Yo, what's this? Acquisition or something? Yeah, and then next up we got SOPA. That one, it's up decently. It is red from the open price, but it's barely red. It's holding on. That'd be the other one I'd look at for a potential move. Besides the BTTX, as just following the pattern with that, I would just stay away. Just keep it safe. So it looks like we're selling off here, but volume is definitely fading. So I don't know how much more selling this thing could do. Just a waiting game to see if it could come back and reclaim the key levels we look for VWAP, for the open price. In this case, I might try to be patient and wait for the high a day. But as of now, it's just a boring morning. You got markets not doing fantastic. New lows again. And I appreciate for anyone who's bearing with me here with the different setup. The screen isn't totally the same. It was something I was worried about before starting this. But thank you to all those that stuck around here in chat and trying to work with me on this. I promise it won't be like this forever. Just temporary, just for today. LOGC trying to hold and reclaim VWAP. We'll see what that happens. What happens there? If it can do it, right now it's getting stuffed, but trying to bounce. Need to see more volume out of that. But this is one. You got the resistance up around 1. Where it's got, excuse me, my bad. Where you got resistance here on the daily around 1. After that, it's gonna try to fill the gap and head to the 130s. But I'd probably be out by then, if we're being honest. If this sets up the way I want, I'll be getting in around 84, 85. See if it breaks the high day at 89, and from there we get the move to the mid 90s, and I'd be out. Take my roughly 10 cents, right around 10%, a little bit over, and call it a day at that point. And so far, really happy with sticking away with this, staying away. Because we usually expect a solid move, and all we got here with this setup was a 10% move from that high. And, that's, you would have to be perfect to get that. But yeah, unfortunately, this thing made the whole move starting when it closed on Friday. It held up and gave a nice burst from the 190s to the 220s, 230 area. Continued it here pre-market. So it happens, but this is the lesson so far. It's not going to be acting pretty. This thing's coming right back to where the ideal break level entry was at 240. We'll see if this thing gets hammered lower or tries to hold up. But so far, this is the lesson. It's not acting that great. And most of that is what I presume the lack of volume, the lack of fuel behind this play right now. Because it had really majority of it pre-market. And now a lot more selling is coming through. Sticking to the data, around 30%. This one ran a little bit more here during market hours, got 266. But, it's still been only 20 minutes. Anything can happen. I could be blabbering all I want right now, and by the end of the day, this thing could be in the low threes. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I feel like I approached it properly and am correct about ignoring it. No, I did not. I did not enter NKT. It's breaking right now? No, that was 37. Sorry, I missed this shot. Breakout is similar to Jack Kellogg. How does he play it? Interesting. I would like to see that because I honestly I hear of Jack Kellogg. I've heard how much money he's made, but I don't know anything about how he trades. Yeah, NKTX not trading that right now. Volume too low for me. Even though that is something I talk about, trying to adapt and let the trend show me what to do. And right now the trend is failure. So sorry for missing that. So far I didn't trade anything. I don't see anything to my liking. NKTX not doing what I want. We got BTTX. Ooh, ended up holding here. Like I was just talking about a moment ago. It could end up holding. Wow, nice. Um, haven't played that because, like I was saying, it did really what I wanted pre-market, and after that, I'm kind of just gambling because I have an idea of what I'm looking for, what I expect out of the move, and to me, I just saw no energy behind the play as it all happened pre-market. So in my eyes, when market open came, what fuel was going to fuel this play to head higher? Um, and then what was another watch? I had SNOA. That one didn't do anything. LOGC still just mapping it out. Nothing's happened that I want. It's still downtrending. Once that starts reclaiming key levels around 84, holding VWAP, I'll start looking for an entry. But as of now, nothing there. SOPA made a plan for this, but right now this thing's not doing great. It is trying to hold up. I will say that. But not going to trade it until it starts reclaiming at least the open price in VWAP. But ideally, still, you have that 285 high a day, which is going to act as resistance. So really have to wait for that key level to break to get a rip to 3, maybe higher. But right now, LOGC coming to my attention now. So LOGC, the plan here, we're gonna see if it keeps holding VWAP in the 84 cent area, which is the open price. And after the failure we had this morning, and a lot of selling coming through in the morning, some of those have got to be short sellers, not just profit takers. If this thing fails to break down, I'm going to be looking for a move to test 1. And the reason I say 1 is because that's the next resistance level we see here before it starts trying to break towards 130. So, a couple plays to enter this, playing it now, looking to test that 1 area, and then later on, if it keeps holding around 1, if we get there, going to be looking for the 1 hold to test the 120 to 130 area. But right now, we see volume coming back. That's really nice to see. Just going to let it develop. Let it go sideways for a bit, chop around, figure out the direction it wants to do. But as long as it keeps holding this general key area of 84, 85, with VWAP right below, looks like around 80. Oh, it's at 82 right now. It's telling me right there. So LOGC top watch right now for a potential move to test 1. BTTX slowly climbing back here. We're just going to keep peeking at this every once in a while, but I'm not trading that one. New lows on NKTX. That's an ignore for now. This thing's looking good. I like it. I like this. I might be entering here soon. So if we do enter it, let's figure out risk reward. So we're aiming for 1. We're going to be getting about 14 to 15 cents if I'm patient enough. And if I'm wrong, right now we are above the max risk of 5%. So I do want to let this develop a little bit more and then risk off of the consolidation area that it gives me, 84 cents as well. That's the open price. So if it makes that area support and it makes a move higher, once it comes back and breaks lower below 84, going red on the day, I'm gonna start thinking that we're done. That momentum is shifted. I'm really hoping this develops the way I want, because I'd be very annoyed seeing nothing and then recognizing LOGC and then missing that. So right now I am not in, but I am preparing an order on my phone here. Just trying to be patient. But this thing looks like it wants to move here without me. And sometimes, it happens. The risk reward isn't bad, but I'm risking more than my max loss. So I'm just not gonna do it. Especially on a day where the overall market's not doing too well. And it looks like it's weighing down a bunch of plays here on my scanner this morning, unless I'm missing some stuff. Here's BTTX, gonna come back close to high a day again. Yeah, just gonna play it a little bit more cautious. That is so annoying with BTTX. The only play I was really excited about for today, on a day where I wasn't really expecting much action because of the overall markets and people's fear right now, was BTTX, and this thing just rips pre-market. Very frustrating. But still very early, just about 30 minutes here into market open. Anything could happen. So let's not get into our heads and get emotional. Just let things develop. We'll see if LOGC ends up being a nice play. Right now this thing is holding up. Let me change the minute on the chart. See how it's looking. So the first 15 minutes we got some heavy selling. Decent sized body candle, but also decent sized wicks. And here the second 15-minute bar, we got good volume as well. Some solid buying coming back, holding it up. No lower wicks. It didn't even head lower this second 15-minute candle. Just opened and started bouncing higher. We'll see what it does. Right now, right back below 84, but we'll see if we keep holding around 82-cent VWAP price. 82.5. Yeah, so just a waiting game. Might end the morning this morning with no trades. Unfortunately, it's looking like so far. And I am also on my hotspot, so I am probably going to be wrapping this up here soon, considering there really is not anything exciting right now besides LOGC. Before I burn through all my data for the month with nothing to watch. Is there anything missing? Anyone watching something? Any questions? You entered LOGC. Okay, nice. We'll see how this sets up for you. Ideally, keeps making a higher low here, holds up and starts coming back. What time did it? 56. So this was 4 minutes ago. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right around 85 cents, 86 cents, I presume your entry is. That's an annoying pullback for sure that's holding here. So we'll see if it holds up here. Gonna need some buying. Trend price is heading lower, but not much volume behind it right now. We'll see what this does. But definitely, this is definitely going to be on my radar if this holds up here. Makes a higher low right here. That's going to be a very exciting thing to see. Just really would like us to be above the open price. General momentum being green, especially with rotating the float and having some serious volume on the day compared to the chart's history. This is what, the best volume day in its history? Yeah, the best volume day in its history. So if trend could follow and start holding up, I think more buying will come through and we'll get a short squeeze. We got a solid double top right around 87, 88 cents at high day. Now we just need that higher low, disappoint this double top. And from there, I think we could get a nice move to 95 cents to $1. But I am not in this yet. Just waiting for the right time for risk reward to set up properly, because I recognize buying it around 85 cents. If it were to pull back to 80, 79 cents, where there's some key consolidation right here, I'm just done. I'm going to be annoyed with taking over 5% loss on it. I could have gone in with the starter, but I'm going to try and be a little bit more picky right now. And that's why I didn't take it. I didn't like the risk. It broke my rule of 5% max, and I just didn't want to do that right now. BTTX chopping around, coming back down. Low volume. That's nice to see. Check the scanners. Before I wrap this up, I just want to leave you guys with some plays to kind of look at. CYN ended up making a decent little push. LOGC for sure is going to be top watch this morning until it breaks down. LOGC, nice push from when we last talked about it. Still has overhead resistance around 480 from the other day, or last Thursday rather. So if it could get above that level, hold 5, we could get a nice maybe push to the mid 5s to 6 area. But besides that, CYN might most likely is an ignore for me. BTTX most likely an ignore for me. Already did what I wanted, very disappointing. NKTX continues to make new lows, so I don't expect this to come back for a high day break over mid 15 to give me a multi-day bounce. So we'll just keep this on watch for later on tomorrow for potential multi-day bounce. LOGC trying its best here to keep holding 80 cents, but right now so far it's looking like a double top in the high 80s. and it's cracking below open price. So if this fails to really break down, it could be nice. But right now the trend is figuring itself out. It's in between making a higher low and a double top. So it's kind of got conflicting indicators right now. And that's another reason why I'm on the sidelines. I want to have this for sure set a higher low here and come back so where I'm comfortable looking at the next move higher, not as a potential triple top, but as a potential move to break that high, because we are making a higher low, holding open price, and a lot more bullish indicators are really lining up. Because here, the first time we're breaking it, it's just a little fake out so far. You have 1 good minute, the second minute here ends up finishing red, and from there it's a low volume perk, so which is why it can't really break the morning highs from 88. It just wasn't enough volume. But if this keeps holding up, I think the volume will follow through with short selling and dip buyers, and or not rather dip buyers, but buyers, recognize just general buyers looking at this play, failing to break down, looking to test that one resistance. So yeah, I did use up all my data, so it's all good. I just wanted to leave you guys with some of these plays to look at. I will be tweeting a lot more since we only finished half of what we usually look at for the morning session of the live stream. Here's BTTX continuing to hold, even though that's going to be an ignore for me. Just want to check out how that moves. LOGC is really going to be it for me, I think. So yeah, we're just going to wrap it up here. My apologies again, but this thing looks like it can go hyper squeeze today. It does look like it can, if it can hold up, it does have the volume for a potential move to at least one. If it holds one, we could definitely get that hyper squeeze you're talking about to get to the 130s, to try to fill the gap that it had. But besides that, yeah, just got to be patient and see how this ends up holding up here. But yeah, so my apologies for the quality of the live stream this morning. We'll be back to it this afternoon with the usual setup and everything. So thanks for all those that stuck around and bared with me going through this. Hope anyone was able to learn something. Sorry for the slow morning. I guess I can't control that, so I don't know why I'm apologizing. But I wish I would have been able to really trade something. BTTX just didn't set up the way I want. But yeah, it's all I can really say. Ooh, SOPA. SOPA, almost forgot about that. This thing is trying to hold. Did have a solid hold in the mid twos so far. That's another potential play for an open price play, high daybreak setup. So SOPA and LOGC, probably my top watches right now. So I'll leave you guys with that. And yeah, so we'll come back later. Ideally, something sets up. Besides that, have a great morning. Hope you're able to make some money, learn something. Besides that, keep on watch for YouTube. I'm going to pump out some more video lessons and whatnot. So hope everyone has a great day, and we'll catch you guys later.